Hello, I'm doing another what if. It's kind of late right now, so I'm sorry for posting this so late. But, so I got this idea kind of from Blue Crown, and I'll leave his channel link in the description. But I got a few ideas from him and his series of What If Deku is Reborn. So I got this idea from that. So go check him out and subscribe to him if you haven't already. And this will. Alright, I'm gonna change what he did though by a little bit. So if you watch his series and mine, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But I will change kind of what he did. So, everything goes the same up until, the sludge villain attack. And Deku ends up dying, from the sludge villain. And he ends up getting, in his head, he's kind of, thinking about, the type of quirks that could help him in this situation. So he's like, if only I had All Might's quirk. And then a voice in his head was like, looking through memories now. And then it was located, All Might. Super strength, super speed, and all that. And, And then Deku was like, if I had Endeavor's quirk, I could shoot fire out and burn the villain. And then it was locating memories, and then found Endeavor, and then said, and then he did a few other ones. And I'ma say that in his head, sorry, I'm really sick. But in his head, it says, transporting body to another world. And in his head, he's like, no, what? No. And it's error. And then it's you not transport to another world. And All Might, seeing that Deku's heart stopped, takes him to a hospital really fast. And remember to go check out Blue Crown, because, I'm kind of stealing this part from Blue Crown. So, yeah. He takes him to a hospital. And it turns out Deku, woke up. But when he woke up, he had black hair and actually no. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, he had black hair and he had white eyes. So black hair, white eyes. And wanna know what I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna link the Naruto world and the My Hero world through this. So he wakes up, he has black hair, white eyes now, and everybody's confused on why it happened. But they do tests on Deku, and they find out that he has super strength and super speed. So they think that because he technically clinically died for 5 minutes before actually getting his heart back, his heartbeat back, they think that it awakened his quirk. And if you think this is impossible, you think the doctors would be kind of confused because he had the joint in his toe, I'm gonna say that they probably just thought he was a first generation quirk user where their bodies weren't ready for the quirks, so they still had the joint, but they still manifested quirks. Which they were a little confused, but not as much as a quirkless person actually getting a quirk. And I'm sorry, because I'm really sick. So I'm gonna be like sniffling a lot. But, you know, he gets all that. And I'm gonna say he also has an ability called Sneak, which I also got from Blue Crown. So again, please check him out, because I was just kind of watching a series. I'm like, you know what, that actually sounds kind of dope. So, he has an ability called Sneak, where it's basically body flicker. Yeah, it's basically body flicker. So it's like, there's literally no sound, but it like, his body like just kind of disappears and reappears. But to Deku, he's just moving really fast. And, you know, so he gets out of the hospital, and he ends up getting, you know, like, in a voice in his head, it's like, recalibrating, and he's like, in his head, he starts thinking, he's like, what was that noise? And he's still, like, he's kind of walking with his mom, and then they got to the, like, car, and then they started driving home, and then the voice said, giving ability, and Deku was like, who's that? And his mom turned over and looked at him like, sweetie, there was nobody talking. And he's like, okay. And the voice said, don't talk out loud, just think it in your mind and I'll hear it. And he thinks in his head, like, who is this? And it says, like, you can call me whatever you want. Hold on. Okay, so it's like, you can call me whatever you want. And he's trying to think of a name, but it's like, it's like, you have the ability to travel between worlds, and he's like, and by this point, he's already home, and he's up in his room, and it tells him this, and he's like, what? How do I do it? And it kind of like, it's like, just focus on, you know, like, a teleportation gate, and it'll transport you to the other world. So he does it, and he transports to the Naruto world. And I think you see where I'm going with this. So, like, he's gonna go there with Naruto. And this is when Deku, you know, this is like, and I'm gonna say, like, the Sledge villain attack happened earlier than in, like, the original. So instead of Deku being like, what? Like, hold on, I gotta think real quick. Okay, so Deku would be like 14 or 15 in, like, the original. So this time I'm gonna say he's like maybe like a 10 or 11, if you know where I'm going with this. So he transports, and him and Naruto are gonna be the same age. But you'll see where I'm going with this. So he goes there, and I'm gonna say that when he goes there, like, the realm, like, his world in the Naruto world, when he goes to the Naruto world, his world, the time just completely stops. So all the aging and, like, anything that would happen just completely stops. And so, like, if he teleports to the Naruto world for, like, 2 years and then he goes back, it'll feel like literally, like, 5 seconds has passed. Oh, and his body won't age. No matter which realm, like, if he's in his own world, his body will age. But if he's in the Naruto world, his body cannot age. So no matter how long he stays in the Naruto world, it won't affect his age. Which is semi-OP, because he can kind of just train for like 100 years and then go back without even being affected. But I'm not even having to do that because that seems a little too overpowered. And, you know, I kind of like overpowered characters, but I hate it when they get too overpowered, because then you can't really do anything with the character, because then they're just going to basically be able to beat literally anybody in their way. So there's no point just making them that OP. Dang, bro, it's 1 a.m., bro. But this, oh, and I forgot to mention that I changed my, intro. You guys probably noticed by now. But, and also, in the comments, tell me what if you want me to do for my 50 subscriber special, and it'll be a 40-minute video. So it's gonna be a 40-minute video for my 50 sub special for one out of 3 what ifs. So pick out of these 3. What if Naruto is a Yamanaka? What if Naruto was an Uchiha? Or what if Naruto helped Itachi kill the clan? But I'm going to name it What If Naruto Was an Uchiha Part 2, because it's basically what it is. And Part 3, hold on, I gotta check it. What if Naruto, flip, I think I forgot. Was an Otsutsuki Part 3. So choose out of those 3. And, yeah, so he gets transported to, the different world. And, in the Naruto world, to the people there, it'll make his body age, but when he goes back to his world, his body will return to, whatever age he was at when he left. So say he stayed in the Naruto world for, 10 years, he'd be, 21, 22, and he went back, he'd be, 11 or 12 again, because, it happened earlier. And then when he goes back from his world, which he's 12 in, and he goes back, he'll be 12 there again. So if he leaves when he's, 26 to the Naruto people, he'll leave, and he'll be in his world, and he'll be, 12, and then he'll go back, and he'll be 12 again, if that makes sense. And remember, if he leaves the Naruto world, it'll feel like no time has passed for them if he goes back. But in Blue Crown series, in his world, 1 day is literally a year. And yeah, that's not how I want to make it, because I don't want it to be like Deku went back and he slept for 1 day and he went back to the world and Naruto was a whole year. That's not how I want to do it. So I'm going to say that no time passes. And he goes, and Naruto, he's the same age as Deku. So, he was kind of walking. He was going to Ichiraku. The normal. And, Deku just kind of appears right in front of him. And Deku, he's asking the voice in his head, which I'm gonna name Yuzu. If any of you recognize that game, that name, then nice. But I mean, you don't. You gotta check out some old series, my dudes. So, if you know that name, you're an OG. Thanks for watching my what ifs. And if you don't, go watch some previous what ifs, and I think you'll understand. But yeah, it's gonna be Yuzu. So in his head, he's like Yuzu, and he's like, "What are some of my abilities?" And then she'll be like, she'll make a menu appear, and she tells him how to use the menu. So now he can use the menu by will, and it tells him his level. He's gonna have somewhat of a leveling system. And again, I'm taking this from Blue Crown. I'm gonna definitely link his channel, because I basically got this whole what if idea from him. But yeah, so he's gonna, he's gonna open the menu. And he's gonna look at all his abilities. He's gonna have sneak, super strength, super speed, let's see. He's gonna have a fire quirk from, that. And I'm gonna say he has like he has like this inventory where if he grabs something and he puts it in it, it's basically like a time-space inventory. It's hard to explain, but so yeah, he has that, and I'm gonna try to make this like 20 minutes. So, he appears right in front of Naruto. Oh, and Deku's also gonna have super intelligence, or like not super intelligence, but like he's gonna be more intelligent than in the original. But so he can think pretty fast too. So, he appears right in front of Naruto, and Naruto's like, okay. He's like, what's up? Who are you? And Deku turns, and he's wearing like his modern clothes. So Naruto's like kind of laughing at him for like wearing whatever he's wearing. And he's like, I've never seen you around. What's your name? And Deku, he's kind of like, I'd rather not say. Because, he doesn't know if his name is like bad or something like for this like world. So he's kind of just like, and I'm gonna say that, the voice inside of his head is kind of like looking at Naruto, or like Deku's looking at Naruto, but the voice inside his head is analyzing him and finds out who the father and mother are. And it's like father, Minato Namikaze, mother, Kushina Uzumaki. And then it says, name, Naruto Uzumaki. So he's like, okay. And then he tells Naruto that he's Minato. Because, the voice inside his head was, like, told Deku that he was an orphan and crap. So he just uses Naruto's dad's name. So he's like, my name's Minato. And he's like, what's your last name? And, Deku, he's just kind of like, Namikaze. So, he's like, Naruto's like, oh, do you want to join me for some ramen? And Deku kind of just agrees. So, he does that, and I don't want to make this video too long. But he agrees to have some ramen, and remember, they're like 10 or 11. So, in like a year or two, they're going to be graduating the academy. So, Deku, he has like a skill called like fast learner or something, where he can learn things really fast. So it's kind of like the Sharingan, but more with his brain than his eyes. And I'm gonna say that, one time Deku, he was kind of just walking around the village with Naruto, and he saw, okay, wait, okay, never mind. Alright, alright. I don't know what I'm saying, it's the point I'm stuttering, but they were walking around the village, and they run into a Hyuga, and, Deku asked him, like, he's like, what's with your eyes? And the Hyuga's like, that's the Byakugan, it's my dojutsu. And, Deku looks at Naruto like, oh, it's a dojutsu. So the Hyuga member explains what a dojutsu is, and it's how it's a Kekkei Genkai. And then Deku's like, what the flip's a Kekkei Genkai? So he explains that too. It's like, jutsus passed down from a bloodline and stuff. I don't remember how they explained it, but that's how it's gonna be. And Deku's like, it's pretty neat. But you can't learn it, can you? And the guy's like, no, it's only passed down through, like, blood. So Deku's kind of like, dang, dude, those would be pretty useful. And, the Hyuga's like, yeah, it's 360 vision. And I'm gonna say that the voice inside his head is like, skill unlocked, Byakugan. And bro, Deku, his eyes light up when the voice inside his head says that. But his eyes, he can turn them, his eyes only turn white when it's in the Byakugan state. So, actually, I'm gonna make this 25, so. He unlocks the Byakugan, so only when it's, like, being awakened. So, like, with the veins and stuff, that's the only time when his eyes turns white. Actually, wait, no, his eyes are already white because he has black hair on it. I'm so stupid. Okay, so either way, his eyes are always going to be white. Like, his eyes are going to look like a Hyuga member. So, when the Hyuga walks, like, when he first sees him, he thought that Deku was a Hyuga because of the white eyes. And after they were done talking about Kekkei Genkais, he's like, did he not even know that, like, about the Byakugan? He's probably not a Hyuga then. So the Hyuga then asked Deku, like, what's your last name? Deku's like, I'm a Namikaze. And, because he's going to stick with it. And the Hyuga's member is like, oh, so are you sure you're not a Hyuga? And Deku's like, yeah, pretty sure. Why? And the Hyuga's like, have you ever seen yourself in a mirror? And Deku's like, I actually haven't exactly seen a mirror since I got here. But he's thinking that. So he's like, where's a mirror at? And, the Hyuga points at a bathroom with a mirror in it. So Deku runs in there and he looks at the mirror. And he realizes his eyes are white. And he's like, whoa, bro, when did this happen? And then he looks at his hair and he realizes it's black. And he was like, dang, dude, what happened? And the voice inside his head is kind of explaining how the power that he unlocked kind of changed him, his, like, eyes and hair. And made him buffer, like, his, like, body is more, like, buff. So, yeah. And I'm gonna say the Hyuga member brings Deku back to the Hyuga compound, and Naruto just kind of went home by himself. Sadly for him. But Deku, he goes to the Hyuga compound, and, a couple of Hyugas, ask the other Hyuga, like, who's this kid? And he's like, I don't know, I think he's a Hyuga, though, because look at his eyes. So you look at his eyes, and they think he's a Hyuga, which, this is gonna happen because he can use the Byakugan at a better extent than probably most of them, because his ability, fast learner, not to mention mix, with, like, his intelligence, is gonna be like, okay. So they ask him to channel his chakra to his eyes to use the Byakugan. And he doesn't know how to channel his chakra, so he's like, how do I channel chakra? And I'm gonna say at this point, Deku, because this has only been like 2 days, so he hasn't, like, actually enrolled at the academy. So they teach him how to channel chakra, and they teach him how to channel chakra, and he tries to channel it to his eyes, and words flow through his mind, and it's Byakugan, so he screams Byakugan, and he's like, Byakugan, and his eyes, there's veins popping out from his eyes, and he like opens his eyes up, and you know he has 360 vision, so he's like, whoa, bro, that's pretty cool, man. And you know they're all like, yo, he's definitely Hyuga. So they ask her, like they tell him to deactivate it, and he asks them how, and they just say stop channeling chakra. So he stops channeling the chakra, and they take him to Hiruzen. And Hiruzen, you know, he makes him a leaf, like, you know, person. And I'm gonna say that it's like, you know, he's gonna be there, and he's gonna start going to the academy. And he literally learned everything that all the other kids learned within like a week because of his fast learner ability. So he's literally like better than Sasuke, or like he knows all the skills that Sasuke does. Dang, it's already 25 minutes, but he knows the skills that Sasuke does. And you know, I'm gonna say that Hiruzen noticed that Deku and Naruto are pretty good friends. So I'm gonna say that Deku, because he like kind of just was there for like a week, he was the bottom of the class. And Naruto and Deku, they're both like the bottom of the class. So everybody, they don't know like how good Deku is, but they assume he's pretty bad to be bottom of the class. But he still looks pretty cool. Like he's like, and Hiruzen also gave Deku, you know, some Rio, so that he could buy some like, you know, actual clothing from the leaf. And I'm gonna say he bought like the mask in this picture. He bought the mask, and he's gonna wear a black sleeve, like a black long sleeve shirt, like just a plain black long sleeve, and black pants, like just plain black pants and black, you know, sandals. So he's basically wearing all black, and you know he has white eyes. So that's how he looks. And I'm gonna say that they call out the teams, and he does. They all pass because, dude, I'm gonna see Deku. He goes to the library every day that he's been there, which he's been there for like 2 weeks at this point. And he read every single book in the library, so he knows up to. Okay, and then he asked Hiruzen for some pretty good jutsus, and you know Hiruzen sensing that Deku has like a lot of chakra, like alright, it's gonna be like a little, actually no, it's gonna be like the same as Naruto's, but he has like insane chakra control, like, I mean, like better than the Sannin and the Kages, like every single Kage and all the Sannin. So he's better at chakra control than Tsunade. Dude, that is insane. But he asked Hiruzen for like better like scrolls. So Hiruzen gives it to him, and Deku, he's happy. And he learns the Fireball Jutsu, like some B rank, and he also learns the Shadow Clone Jutsu and like Water Dragon and like Mud Wall. And he has all 5 chakra affinities, because it's like an ability, and you know it's like acquired earth style. And like he looks at the like, and Hiruzen, he gives him the Forbidden Scroll, but he says that he can only have it for an hour, so learn as many jutsus as he can. So he learns the Flying Thunder God, or the Flying Rising. He also like, and he uses the same kind of kunais as, you know, Minato. So he has like the kunai in the picture, but he marked it with his own, you know, mark. So he uses like those type of kunais. And he also knows like, he has every chakra nature. He has yin and yang, and he has like insane chakra control. And he also can copy Kekkei Genkai to some extent, depending on if he unlocks the ability or not. But he has every chakra nature, and he knows like Water Style, Water Dragon Jutsu, Fireball Jutsu, Mud Wall. He knows Wind Bullet, Gale Palm. He knows like just some, like, basic and, like, some pretty good stuff. You know, Shadow Clone, Flying Thunder God. And I'm gonna say that the Rasengan was in there, so he knows the Rasengan. He read some, scrolls about the Raikage, A, and he knows how to use, like, the cloak, the Thunder Cloak, but not to the same extent that A can, because he actually hasn't seen A in person. So he has the same, like, abilities. And, I'm gonna say that he looks at, like, and, he was snooping around, just because while the Rasengan wasn't looking, he was kind of snooping around after, and the Rasengan was in the scroll, so he knows how to use the Rasengan too. And I realize that I'm making Deku kind of overpowered, but you'll see what I'm gonna do. So, he kind of snooping around, and he finds a Uchiha scroll about, the Sharingan. You already know where I'm going with this. In all the Uchiha styles, like Uchiha style Flame, or, like Uchiha style, like Great Fireball Jutsu, and like Halo Dance, and like just that kind of stuff. So he reads it all, and he in his head, he hears Sharingan unlocked. And he starts off with a one-tomoe, like anybody else. And then, I'm gonna say, like, because he's a fast learner, he's gonna get the Sharingan, but nobody knows but him. And the Hyuga clan, they've been, like, teaching him, like, the flip, what is it? Like 64 palm and all that, like twin lion and crap, just like the Hyuga style stuff. So he knows, like, basically a lot of Hyuga stuff, but he knows nothing about the Uchiha. And he knows that there's an Uchiha in his class, but, he got, like, the Sharingan now, so he trains it. And I'm gonna say that after a month of, and in that month, like half a month through it, he becomes a Genin. And his team is Sasuke, Uchiha, Deku, or no, Minato, Namikaze. Which I'm gonna say that he tells Hiruzen about how he's from a different world, so he used, Naruto's dad's name. Because, he feels like he can trust Hiruzen because he's the town's leader, or like the least leader. And Hiruzen, he wasn't that surprised because he's heard of people traveling between worlds like once or twice from like his grandfather, which was like, like the Dark Ages, my dude. So, yeah. So he knows about all that stuff. And, he's not that surprised, but he's still really surprised. So, Deku, he got a scroll about, like, the bone release thing. And he knows how to use, like, the bone release. So he can, like, use his, like, bones as, like, swords and crap. And, so he knows that. And then he gets put on a team with Sasuke and Naruto. And I'm gonna say that Hiruzen made an exception of, like, 2 boys and 1 girl. They made an exception and made it 3 boys. So they all get put on, Kakashi's team. Because I'm gonna say that, Deku, he unlocks, like, the Chutomoy after that month. So he has the Chutomoy when the bell test starts. Because, like, actually, yeah, okay. In half a month, he gets the Chutomoy because of his fast learner ability. So, like, on the bell test, he has 2 Tomoe. And Sasuke doesn't even have a 1 Tomoe. So, yeah. And I'm gonna be leaving this off, like, during the bell test because their goals Deku didn't really have any. He just said that he didn't have any. He just wanted to be a strong ninja. And, the others were the same. So, that's where I'm going to be leaving this off. Oh, and for your information, yes, Naruto did steal the scroll. So, don't even ask. So he knows, like, Shao Kahn. So, that's where I'm going to be leaving this off, because this is already getting long. So, that's where I'm going to be leaving this off. 5 likes for part 2. Please like and subscribe. Peace out.